Bachelor, big things happening for Juliana Pasquarosa after Grant Ellis split. July 19th, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation news fans. Bachelor Grant Ellis and Juliana Pasquarosa broke up last month. The news didn't come as a total surprise to fans of the show, who never thought they were the right fit anyway. The breakup news came less than 3 months after the season 29 finale aired in March. Juliana has been living her best life since the split. She recently revealed that big things are happening in her life. She reveals what happened to the engagement ring. Grant Ellis proposed to Juliana with a 3.5-carat engagement ring designed by famed jeweler to the stars Neil Lane. The ring actually caused a lot of speculation about her relationship status after she was spotted without it several times. Bachelor Nation has a long-standing policy regarding the engagement rings. Since the rings are designed and paid for by ABC, the show has a strict return policy. If an engagement lasts more than 2 years, the couple gets to keep the ring. However, if they split up before 2 years, the ring goes back to ABC. Juliana recently revealed to a nosy fan that she had already returned the ring after ending her engagement to Grant. Big things happening for Juliana Pasquarosa after Grant Ellis split. Bachelor fans were divided over Juliana Pasquarosa during the show. Some felt she was a bully to the other women. Others thought she simply wasn't right for Grant and was the fun option compared to the more serious Lydia Gar. Grant and Juliana announced their split weeks before season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise premiered on ABC. Some viewers thought that Grant or Juliana might show up on the beach for another chance at love. However, the show was filmed before their split. There's always next season. Juliana shared an update on social media about what her life is like today. There are a lot of good things happening. It's Friday. I have a flight booked to Florida. My dog's going to daycare. My sister's living her best life in Europe. My brother just got a promotion. My nephew got 12 hours of sleep while I was on auntie duty. My mom's healthy, and my dad is still my best friend. Life is good, she wrote. How's Grant doing? Shortly after announcing the split, Grant Ellis went live on Instagram to address some of the speculation about what happened. He implied that she was the one who called it quits. Grant also expressed interest in competing on season 34 of Dancing with the Stars. The new season starts in September, but only 4 celebrity participants have been revealed so far. He recently attended the ESPY Awards. He attended the event solo. It seems the former Bachelor couple is thriving after their breakup. What do you predict is next for Grant and Juliana? Fell. Juliana Pasquarosa had once believed in fairy tales. Standing on the windswept cliffs of the Bachelor finale, wrapped in a designer gown, mascara barely holding up against her tears, she waited for Grant Ellis to say the words she'd been craving since night 1. But instead of a proposal, all she got was a sigh, a practiced apology, and a heartbreak that echoed through Bachelor Nation. Fans were shocked. She was the fan favorite, the poised yet passionate woman who had given everything to love a man who ultimately walked away. But what the cameras didn't capture, what no one saw in the Heartbreak edit, was the fire quietly igniting inside her. Grant may have broken her heart, but he had no idea what he had just unleashed. From tears to turnaround. Weeks later, Juliana sat alone in a high-rise hotel room in New York City. The air was crisp, the city noise pulsing far below her window, and her phone buzzed every few seconds with interview requests, podcast invitations, and influencer deals. A few months ago, she had been just another contestant. Now, she was the face of resilience. Her first Instagram post after the breakup simply read, "He let me go, I let myself grow." 1 million likes in 24 hours. She didn't feel like crying anymore. She felt like building. Entering her era. A talent agency in Los Angeles slid into her DMs, then a cosmetics brand, then a podcast company. By the end of the week, Juliana had signed with the Gold Agency, home to reality TV royalty and rising actresses alike. Everyone wanted to know what was next. Would she do Dancing with the Stars? Was she being considered for The Bachelorette? Did she and Lydia Gar still talk? The answer to the last question, absolutely, sisters forever. To the rest, let's just say I'm not done being seen. The podcast that broke the internet. Juliana's first major move wasn't on screen, it was in the studio. She launched a podcast titled Unfiltered Rose, a sharp, witty, no BS show where she invited fellow Bachelor Nation favorites, Hollywood insiders, and real women navigating real breakups. The very first episode featured none other than Susie Evans. "People think we're fragile," Juliana said. "We're not. We're just human, and sometimes humanity is messy, dramatic, and beautiful." The episode charted #1 within 72 hours. Grant Ellis? Quiet. Juliana Pasquarosa? Viral. A stunning runway redefinition. 2 months after the split, Juliana stunned the internet again, not with another podcast episode or cryptic post, but by walking the runway at Miami Swim Week. Dressed in a bold emerald bikini and sheer cape, she wasn't there just to model. She was launching her own brand, JP by Juliana, a swim and resort wear line built around confidence, authenticity, and feminine power. Critics were impressed, fans were obsessed. And Grant? He reportedly watched the show from the sidelines of a charity golf event. Bachelor Nation quickly made their stance known. Team Juliana was winning. The ex-girlfriend revolution. Then came the unexpected alliance. Litia Gar, Paralina Quixano, even runner-up from Joey's season, Kelsey Anderson, reached out. A small group chat turned into a weekend retreat in Big Sur. Cameras were invited, the footage was raw, unfiltered, and emotional. It became a Hulu special titled After the Final Breakdown and tackled what really happens to women after the Bachelor fantasy fades. Trauma, trolls, tabloid lies, Juliana and her crew held nothing back. Reviews were glowing. The show got Emmy buzz. Juliana was praised as a force for transparency in reality TV. She wasn't just surviving, she was leading. Grant's regret. Months after their finale aired, Grant Ellis finally broke his silence. In an interview with GQ, he said, "I don't know if I was ready for someone like Juliana. She had expectations, strength. I didn't know how to meet them." It was framed like growth, but Bachelor Nation read between the lines. He blew it. He knew it. She knew it. The world knew it. And Juliana? She didn't respond with shade, just a quiet Instagram story of her sipping rosé with the caption, "Cheers to the one who lost me." An offer she never expected. On a rainy Tuesday, Juliana's manager called with a bombshell. ABC wants to talk. She knew what that meant. They were offering her the Bachelorette. But this time, she wasn't the girl trying to be chosen. She would be the one holding the power. Juliana took a deep breath. She loved love, but could she trust it again in front of millions? Then she thought of every girl who DM'd her, every woman who said she helped her walk away from a guy who didn't choose her back. She owed it to them, to herself. "Yes," she said, "but it's going to be done my way." Bachelorette, but different. Juliana's season of The Bachelorette didn't look like any before it. Her wardrobe, no pastel gowns. She wore fire-red pantsuits and sleek jumpsuits. The limo entrances, she shook every man's hand and asked a question right away. What makes you a safe place? No shallow small talk, no fake fireworks. She had an all-female production team and a rule: no gaslighters, no love bombers, no contestants who had auditioned for multiple shows. Ratings soared. Social media exploded. Hashtag Queen Juliana trended for weeks. She was rewriting the fairy tale. A final rose for herself. By the time the finale arrived, 2 men stood beside her on the cliff, but something felt different. Juliana stepped forward, not with a rose, but with a message. "I came here hoping to find love again," she said, "and I did, but not in either of you. I found it in me." Gasps, cheers, empowerment. She walked away solo and smiling. For the first time in Bachelor history, the lead didn't pick anyone, and the world applauded. Hollywood calling. The next chapter, movies. Netflix approached Juliana to executive produce and star in a romantic drama based loosely on her own journey, Off the Rose, about a woman who goes through a very public breakup only to find herself again through sisterhood and self-love. She worked with a female-led production team, she cast former contestants in cameos, the film premiered at Sundance and earned a standing ovation. She wasn't just a former Bachelor contestant anymore. She was a writer, producer, fashion mogul, and media icon. The text she never expected. Late one night, as she reviewed edits for season 2 of her docuseries, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Grant. "Proud of you, you turned pain into purpose. I hope you're happy." Juliana stared at it for a moment, then typed, "I am. I hope you find that too." She turned off her phone, lit a candle, opened her journal, because she wasn't looking back anymore. The Juliana effect. By year's end, the Juliana effect had become a term online, used to describe women choosing themselves over settling. Therapy enrollments spiked. Breakup retreats inspired by her story popped up around the country. She launched a mentorship program for young women in media. She visited college campuses. She was even invited to give a TED Talk titled "Rewriting the Fairy Tale, Choosing You." The final slide of her talk? A photo of her on that Bachelor finale cliff, next to a current photo of her laughing on a yacht with her best friends. "You don't need a rose," she said. "You need roots. Grow those first." Love unexpected. A year after walking solo, Juliana met someone. Not on camera, not in makeup, not in a fancy dress. He was a travel photographer in Portugal. She was hiking with Litia and Carolina. He complimented her hiking boots, and they ended up talking over espresso for 4 hours. No grand gesture, no roses, just real. They took it slow, no labels, no public posts. It was just hers, and that was enough. Her happiest ending. Juliana Pasquarosa didn't get her fairy tale ending. She got something better. A real life, a thriving brand, a global movement, peace, purpose, and the kind of love that starts from the inside. Bachelor Nation once knew her as the one who got dumped. Now they knew her as the one who redefined the game. She didn't need Grant Ellis. She needed herself. And once she found her, there was no stopping her.